What's up? What's up, folks? What's up? One person? That's not, no, there should be more. Frank, you find Jin effective to work with? I rarely work with him. Hard to control. It's not worth the effort for me. What's up, Frank? Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm here to answer questions. I got a couple minutes, and I thought, why not go live? And I wanted to remind you that tomorrow my Secrets of Manifestation course is going to come out on the 15th. Um, well, there was a pre-order, or you know, it was possible to pre-order the course. If you didn't do that, I guess it's over. So okay. Hey Frank, we'll be contacting you soon regarding the Reiki initiation service that you have while it's still available. Yeah, uh, people don't get the wrong idea. I'm not offering this for everybody. Okay, yes, I'm a Reiki master teacher, but only people in my other programs and people that I know can get that service. It's not for everybody. Okay, so go ahead. Hi Frank, I'm still interested in joining the order. I'm also interested in the course and other services as well. Hit me up. You know how that works, right? You contact me on Facebook Messenger, and then we get on an onboarding call. Okay? Don't get the wrong idea, guys. Don't get the wrong idea. And I'm saying this because I have talked to people who just don't seem to get it. Just don't seem to get it. Okay? The order is not a free thing. The order gives you. We already talked? Really? Okay. Well, then you didn't join yet, right? No. But the point is this. I've talked to some people who thought the order was a free thing. Look, guys, you need to understand that knowledge needs to be paid for, because if you, no, first of all, there are two things that you need to remember, okay? If you don't pay for real, legit information, you will not be able to apply it in the world later, okay? How do I prove that? How do I prove that? How many fucking free courses do you got? How many fucking free books, ebooks, whatever do you have? And how much of that information were you actually able to apply? You see, there's a law in the universe, a law of exchange of energy. So what you want to make yours, you have to give something for. You see, I'm teaching you magic. I'm teaching you in these courses. I'm teaching you in the order and whatnot. If you want to make the knowledge that I'm giving you yours, meaning you want to be able to master it and apply it and make shit happen in the world with that, you got to exchange for it. The world that we live in requires that you exchange in terms of money. This is not the only type of energy that you could exchange, of course, right? But what else are you going to do for me? What else are you going to do for me? Seriously, everything else? So you need something that you can exchange with me so that I can give you the knowledge and you can actually make it yours. That's it. And let me tell you, if you haven't understood this in your life, and don't change accordingly and don't apply that from now on, your life is going to be the same 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now. Okay, so the most important thing that you need to understand is that you need to exchange. You need to give before you receive. Okay, that's number one. Okay, and this is not a sales pitch. I'm trying to teach you a fundamental rule of life. It's a fundamental rule of life, I guarantee it. And everybody who has a lot understands that. Everybody who has skills has given their blood, sweat, and tears, money, sleepless nights, whatever. Okay? Guaranteed. And this is what separates the people that get shit done. Have skills, are known for their abilities, and those who don't. It's that simple. You gotta give in order to receive. That's simple, you know? Very, very simple, man. You know, very simple. You know what I often find with people that progress very fast? They have a certain mindset. They have a certain mindset. And you know, one of the part of the mindset is, no, I don't want anything for free. I don't want it for free. I want to pay you so that you actually give me what I want, you see? And the fastest way to get out of scarcity is to actually get rid of your money, believe it or not. Because then you have to make some money. Because you have to make it. You know? Money is a whole different topic, man. But I talked about money a lot. Where I explain how it works, what it is. It's just energy, man. Don't make such a big deal out of it. I don't understand why people make such a big deal out of money. It's not, it's just energy, man. It's just energy. What you need to understand is how energy works. And then you'll understand how everything in the fucking universe works. Seriously. Anything is energy. Everything literally follows the laws and the rules of energy. Everything, you know? You're just confused. Get out of that. And become aware that everything is very, very simple. It's all about give and take. It's just that simple. All right. Money been an issue lately, okay? There's an exchange in everything, yes. Thank you, Aiden. That's very true. Okay, yes, I didn't join officially. All right. Beginning over my fear of money and learning my life purpose as well. I can exchange as well. That's good. Hit me up if you can exchange. It's not a guarantee. You're going to have to qualify, but it's fine. See, I'm teaching magic. I'm teaching witchcraft. I want to teach cycles. I want to teach good people, man. Smart people. Intelligent people. You see? That's what I want. And if you see yourself like that, that's cool. Then, you know, there's nothing to worry about that. Right? See, just, somebody just sent me the money for the course. As we're talking, I'm making sales. Because some people out there obviously understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the reminder for what's going to happen tomorrow. Secrets of Manifestation is going to be out. If you pre-ordered it, you're lucky. If not, it's gone. Any recommendations on sources to study for quantum theory when it comes to understanding energy and quantum mechanics? Well, yeah. Try to find some biographies of, let's say, who would that be? Max Planck. Okay, learn about Max Planck. Learn about Heisenberg. You know. Well, see, the beautiful thing about science is that it really doesn't matter what book you read about science. It's science, you know. Nobody can come up with facts, you know. It's not like one author says the equation is this, and the other author says it's another equation. You know, that's a beautiful thing about science. So, really anything. Forgot I pre-ordered it. Feels like a gift to myself. Yes, Jason. Good choice. Thank you. Thank you. Jason is on, I think, all of my programs. Great. So he understands. I'd rather pay for something. Yes, it will make you work and show where your weak areas are. Yes. Yes, sir. Looking forward to the release. Perfect. Perfect. Good, good, good. Awesome. Yeah. Other questions when it comes to witchcraft. You know, these YouTube lives that I'm putting out, there's so much value, but there are a lot of breaks in between, you know, because I'm waiting for questions. So what I'm probably gonna have happen is I'm gonna make these, I'm gonna turn it into smaller chunks, you know, where all the value is very, very uh, dense. What's that? A keto cake. Mm, looks delicious. Wow, keto cake. Incredible. Can you evoke a spirit without incense? Yeah, you can do that. Definitely. You can definitely evoke a spirit without incense. That's doable. Yeah. See, it's also something that I go into in the Secrets of Manifestation course. What is a manifestation of the spirit? The manifestation of the spirit is just condensing it down. Your perception is the gateway, and you need to put a lot of energy into the perception. You know? And through your awareness of it, through your energy flowing into the perception of the spirit, you bring it into this world. You see. So that's it. You don't need incense. Incense makes it easier to perceive it. But look, spirits are around you most of the time. Okay, when you're out in public, guaranteed. When you're out in nature, guaranteed. There are some spirits somewhere. Okay? When you keep your house clean, they're probably not in your house. Okay, you shouldn't turn it into a sanctuary where you burn incense and all this other stuff. But the main problem is that the problem that most people have perceiving them is, number one, they're not paying attention to what's going on inside of them, because you have natural instincts that will tell you that there's another presence there. Okay, and number two, they're semi-transparent, so you can actually look through them. But if you change the focus of your gaze, you will begin to see a form taking shape. You know, with a face. You know, depending on how strong the entity is and how close it is to the physical, the more details are going to fill themselves in. What do I mean by that? There are, as far as I could see, different categories of spirits. What does that mean? The little imps, the little, you know, entities that feed off, let's say, negative emotions that you have, their characteristics and features, they're not very refined. You see, they're not very refined. They're more like just a shape, like a humanoid shape, and they have, you know, not very fine features. Just two holes as eyes and then a mouth, and you know, and all you get is a vibe, because they're basically an accumulation of that type of energy. That's it. Okay, and energy comes together. Energy density equates information density. So there's a certain level of intelligence there that this entity has gathered. You know, and anything in existence just wants to keep existing, and it wants to survive, and so it looks for other sources of energy and attaches itself to people. So these types of spirits, they're not very intelligent. They're just nasty, and they don't look very refined. You know, when it comes to more evolved beings, they look more and more refined. They look more and more uh, majestic. There's also more and more interaction possible with them. Okay, so the point is this. Assuming you don't want to evoke some of those little imps that are totally useless for the most part. Assuming you actually want to evoke, let's say, powerful demons and angels and whatnot, you will need. What does it mean? You need a certain manifestation base, okay, which is going to make it easier to let those features form in your perception. That's really, so it's tradition that you use incenses is absolutely necessary. No, if you keep the room dark, that's the easiest, okay? If you keep the room dark and just have a candle burning, you can see them in the air. It's just a game of focus, okay? So change the focus of your eyes, where you become aware of energy. Okay? It's the same gaze that you use to see auras, and then the spirit is going to appear. Okay. How's your bookings looking for the end of the year? Doing mine soon. I still got a couple dates open. I do have a couple of dates open, but yes, next year, I'm most likely not going to do consultations anymore. Can you pick spirits from watching porn? 100%, yes. Yep. Incubi, succubi, and others. Look, if you ever wonder why so much porn is really fucked up, like really fucked up, but that's a whole different story, man. It's a whole different story. See, a lot of stuff in this world is just set up to make you food for entities and to expose you to certain energies that are not necessarily beneficial. See, ideally, here's how you should use your mind and your energy. Understand that you are like a vase. You're a vase. See yourself as a vase that is, in the beginning, kind of neutral and empty. Of course, there are certain natural inclinations that you have, genetics and all this other stuff, right? People are not equal, obviously. Like a 3-year-old could tell you that. Some people are smarter, some people are faster, some people are stronger. So whatever, okay? So yeah, there are individual differences. But that aside, in the beginning, you're quite neutral, right? As a kid, you come not as a blank slate, but you're still quite programmable, if that makes sense, okay? So understand that the energies that you tune into are what you are now resonating with. And as you resonate with that and go through life, the universe will resonate that back. So ideally, you know who you want to be in the future. You know what kind of skills you need to learn in order to become that person. And then you entertain nothing else but those things in your mind. And you communicate from that frequency. But here's what most people do, man. There's zero control over the information that they get into their minds, okay? And they did a great job with the internet. They did a great job with YouTube, hijacking people's minds, okay? Because they don't understand what they're actually doing, and that what they entertain in their mind actually influences the energy around them and what they get in contact with. See, one of the secrets that you need to understand is, and you will learn that from the Hermetic principles, is what you keep in your mind is a certain frequency or a certain energy that you're resonating with now, and you will see that as the mirror in the outside world, okay? Now, in witchcraft, in practical witchcraft, black magic, we call that a thought form that you created around you, and that thought form influences probabilities around you, you see? So even the things that you're not aware of, you're actually creating, or you're attracting in some way or another, okay? So it is crucial that you are aware of what you expose yourself to. You can't do that 100%, but you can take a lot of control over that. What does that mean? You don't just randomly watch things on the fucking internet, because all you're doing is you're plugging yourself into a reality that you don't necessarily want. Okay, be aware. Be aware of what you're doing, man. Don't just go into a fucking trance and just stay there and expose yourself to all these images, man. Every single cell in your body, I'm telling you, every single cell. You see, this is what happens when I get emotional. I'm like, I clap my hands. Every single cell in your body is listening to the thoughts, okay? The mind, and when I say mind, I don't necessarily mean the brain, but it's part of it, okay? The mind-body complex is interconnected, okay? That's what it's a complex, it's put together, okay? So, neurotransmitters communicate to every single cell in your body, all right? Understand that. So every single thought that you're thinking, whether it's a visual thought, whether it's something that you hear, okay, which triggers the neurology connected to the actual experience, all of that is influencing your cells, okay? You are a vessel, and this body is an instrument to experience the frequencies that you tune into, okay? The real being is not your body. You are a spiritual being that is experiencing through this mind-body thing, okay? So what you're supposed to do is you need to expose yourself to the frequencies that you want, and everything else will literally be the result of that, okay? The thoughts that you think, the stuff that you study, the actions that you take from that, and the life that you create for yourself is going to be the result of the frequencies that you expose yourself to. Now, understanding that, realize what kind of world you're living in. It's a frequency war, okay? The world is controlled through frequency, and those in power control you through the energies and the images and the sounds and the words that they expose yourself to. That's magic, man. It's fucking magic. They hijack your mind. And if you don't take control over what you put in your fucking mind and just let it run on autopilot, you're fucking yourself every single day. You're just food for somebody else's creation, you see? So take control over that. See, if I told you, imagine, which is a trance word, and I can put that into a conversation very easily, okay? Look, imagine standing on a beach. Could you feel the sand below your feet? Could you maybe even feel the sun and the warmth of it on your skin? Could you maybe see the sun in the distance? And could you look and oversee the ocean? You see what I mean? So, believe it or not, subconsciously, we're just simulating what I was talking about. I accessed your subconscious mind. How did I do that? I used the trance word, which is imagine. That opens up your subconscious to what I'm about to say very easily, okay? And this is, by the way, how you future pace people if you want them to do something that you want them to do. Okay, you just hijack their subconscious mind by using certain words that open that up. Okay, and then whatever you say is going to be simulated in their subconscious. So as I was speaking, if you had seen your own brain under an EEG right now, okay, when I was talking about your feet on the sand, you would have seen the parts of your brain connected to the bottom of your feet responding and generating and simulating the sensation of standing on sand. Okay? When I was talking about sun on your skin and the warmth, you would have seen the parts of your brain connected to your skin simulate warmth, you know, and the images of the sun. Yeah, all of that was going on in your subconscious, you see? So the most important thing that you need to do is understand that every thought that you think and things that you watch in particular, they're changing your neurology. They're communicating something to your cells at all times, okay? And what happens in your brain is not just happening in your brain, it's happening in your entire body, man. There's a neurological and neurochemical, there's a fucking connection. There's a brain-gut axis. Okay? So even if you consciously want something, but your subconscious has rehearsed something that you don't want, you're still gonna do the stuff that you don't want. You see? So be aware of the images that you expose yourself to. See, and see the part of your mind that is the most ancient one, or one of the most ancient ones, is your visual part, the visual cortex. Okay, it's very, very old. So it's almost completely outside of your conscious control. So whatever you see, boom, gets into your subconscious and is simulated automatically, okay? So if you watch images of things that you don't want, that's not good. But the good thing, knowing what I just told you, understanding this now, you can use this to your benefit. You want to learn a new skill, my recommendation is this, okay? Let's say you want to become a better fighter, okay? My recommendation would be, as you're, let's say, studying something, as you're reading something, as you're, whatever you do, open up 3 different tabs on your computer and watch the greatest fighter just fighting, okay? And have that in your, somewhere in your visual field. As they're fighting, as they're making these movements, your subconscious is gonna rehearse that stuff, okay? And you're gonna practice subconsciously what they're doing. And at one point, you're gonna find yourself doing the same stuff. You wanna get better at whatever it might be, just expose yourself to that, expose yourself to that, expose yourself to that. As you're listening to that, as you're taking that in, your mind is gonna simulate it and you're gonna get better at it. That's it. Most people just don't have the patience because they wanna see instant results. And there's literally no control. Now, first of all, most people don't know this stuff for some reason, even though it's out there. You can access this information very easily if you're actually interested. But secondly, what is it? I don't know what the fuck it is, Maybe a lack of conviction, a lack of knowing what they want, a lack of knowing who they are. Guess what's up, man? Guess how you know who you are. You decide who you are. Okay, stop waiting for the outside world to tell you who you are and what you can be. Most people are not even in control over their own minds. No, most people don't even understand who they are, and you're gonna wait for their approval? They can't even accept themselves. You understand that? And you're waiting for the world to accept you. That just makes no sense, you see. You decide who you want to be, and then you find people who can show you how to get there. And then you study the shit out of everything, every single word they give you. You rehearse. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to acquire that skill, okay? So if you want to be a badass magician, if you want real world results, if you actually want to make things happen with magic and not just have fucking mystical experiences, I'm your guy. If you want to actually take control over your life, physically, non-physically, if you want to take control over people, magically, non-physically, if you want to take control over your own destiny, and if somebody wants to, you take even control over their destiny, or if you want to, I'm your guy. You see, this is what I do. This is what I do. See, most people, specifically in magical lodges, and fuck, just talk to most people in the occult. Talk to most of them. Talk to most of those magicians. They're never talking about the real world. You ever realize that? You ever notice that they're always talking about something that is outside of what's going on in the physical world, What they miss is that it's as above, so below. So if you actually want to prove your power, if you actually want to know that you got power, you got to affect below. You got to use what you learned above, and you got to affect something in the below, you see? And that's actually how real growth happens. Most will talk about mystical experiences. Most will talk about this and that. You see what I mean? Yeah, I'm Magus level 66, but that's what they will say. I'm Magus level 66, whatever. That's a, by the way, that's a random term. I just came up with this shit, okay? This doesn't actually exist, Magus level 66. Sounds like a video game. And they will talk about all the control that they have, the metaphysical control. But you know what? They can't even control their own weight. Okay? Are you fucking kidding me? You're telling me that you can control other people's minds and other people's desires and actions through ritual, but you can't control what type of food goes in your mouth in your home. God, hey, come on, this is common sense, right? So, but master thyself. You see what I mean? The mastery over other people's minds, or the mastery over the spirit, comes from mastery over yourself. Okay, so that's the prerequisite. That's the prerequisite. You see? So, stop following all this theory. Stop following all these mystical. I don't know. What would you call them? I don't know. Dreamers, fakes, and follow the real stuff. Okay? Follow the real guys. Okay? And follow what they put out. It's that simple. It's really that simple. You know? Sure. You are the real. Yes, I know. Connect with dead ancestors. Yeah. It's not really different from any other spirit that you want to contact. I mean, if you work with your ancestors in a ritual setting, my recommendation is that you learn how that's done in Afro-Caribbean traditions, because to my knowledge, that's the most refined form of working with your ancestors. I mean, that's how I've been exposed to working with your ancestors. There might be other traditions that I'm completely unaware of working with your ancestors. Okay, but the ones that I know and the ones that are most refined when it comes to that are Afro-Caribbean traditions. So learn how, let's say, study a little bit of Santeria and learn how they work with the ancestors. Yeah, that's going to give you some information on that. Do you have a course for ancestry work? No. Your thoughts on Palomayombe? I'm a Palero, and I'm a Tatankisia, in fact. What are my thoughts on that? I don't think you should talk about Palo, to be honest. That's what I've been taught. That's what I've been taught. Look, in my lectures and in my programs, I almost taught people nothing about that, but I feel like it's still too much. I feel like it's still too much. See, some of the power in Palo comes from the secrecy around it. And the secrecy, it's more about, it's an invisible bond that is created with all the ancestors in the tradition and with you, you see? And they're all part of it, you know? So, what would I say about that? What would I say about that? I'm not going to talk about Palo. That's my personal practice, or practice that I do in private. Yeah. I can tell you that it's very powerful, but you obviously know that if you're asking questions about it, right? Are demons a closer density to the physical than angels, and therefore easier to perceive? Are they denser? Yeah, I would say they're denser, but here's the thing, man. Look, when it comes to demons and angels, one way to look at them that's going to benefit you a lot is to see them in terms of chaos and order. Okay, energy that is order, energy that is chaos. Okay, so angels are energies that are order. What does that mean? They reduce entropy, okay, which is a term out of physics, okay, thermodynamics. If you know that, just Google thermodynamics, entropy, ENTROPY, and that will give you an understanding of what that is. Okay, disorder, or rather order in the cosmos, angelic forces. That's what they create. Okay, now if you wanna learn more about this interconnectedness between, let's say, the physical evolution and the physical universe, multiple dimensions, actually 6, and how all of that bleeds into the physical universe through the force of gravity, you should get my text that was published through Become a Living God. Okay, in the Loose Fuge compendium that I was part of. I laid this all out very beautifully, but let's put it like this: there are principles at the level of principles in existence, which is, you could call the causal plane or the mental plane. There are forces that generate order, and there are forces that generate disorder, which is chaos and creation or structure. Okay, so demons, you could say, are beings of chaos. So what they create is disorder. Okay, so when it comes to density, we're talking about something that gets closer to the physical world. The more density something has, the closer it gets to the physical world. But the further it is removed from the source, the creator, if you will. Okay, when I'm talking about creator, I'm talking about the creator in terms of a metaphysical being that is beyond everything. Okay, that is the being that contains all knowledge, all wisdom, all, knowingness. So when you remove yourself from knowingness and come closer into ignorance, which is the physical, okay, where you experience through an individual vessel, which requires that you get rid of a lot of fucking understanding, okay, in order to experience as an individual. You get closer, you get denser, and it's more in the physical, and therefore, yeah, it could be, you could say that it's closer to the demonic, or the demons are closer to the physical world, because they actually facilitate cutting you off from the creation. They facilitate egoistic tendencies. They facilitate the decline of the spiritual being, or the descent of the spiritual being into matter, or they facilitate the descent of the consciousness into matter. Okay, angels want to take you out of it. Okay, so what is it that you should do? You should find balance. You should use both of those polarities. A master is neither destructive nor constructive when it comes to magic, okay? A master uses the polarities and the forces of destruction as well as the forces of construction, okay? You're free. You're free because you have merged your mind and your consciousness with source, you could say, okay? With source. And you have attained so much clarity and stability outside of the body that you can use the illusion to your benefit. You can manipulate the illusion. When I say the illusion, I'm talking about everything that we experience here. The illusion, Maya, okay? The big hoax, you could say, which is physical existence. You can manipulate that to a large extent. And that's really what it is, you see? Now, how do you gain that clarity and ability? Well, a good way to do that is to experience yourself out of body a lot. Okay? Dream work, we use some breathing techniques and manifestation techniques, and then it's more than anything, it's about learning how to keep yourself clear and focused in a meditative state. And this is what you're also going to need after death, by the way, in order to control the reincarnation process. Okay? Now, is that complicated? Not really, but it takes power in terms of concentration. Okay? Controlling the spirit or the observer in order to stay focused on certain things. See, when we go into the afterlife, there's a lot of duality around you, a lot of, energetic manifestations, okay, in the subtle world. And duality is part of the subtle existence, or the spirit world, for a long time, until you reach very, very high levels, until all duality is just basically gone. Okay, so in the reincarnation process, to a large extent, you're going to have to deal with duality still, you see. So you need to learn how to be non-attached, essentially, non-attached. I mean, this is what a lot of tantric Buddhism practices are about, okay? This is actually what it prepares you for, So, but the same ability is used to manifest. The same ability that you're training with these practices gives you the ability to control things in the physical. Because the physical is a result of what goes on in the spiritual, you see? So, you need to focus on that. A keto chocolate cake, oh my God. This is not even, wow. Didn't even know that shit existed. Can you explain your ink? What are good spirits of spells for money? Okay. Can you please explain your ink? All of it? No, I don't want to. But what's this? That's Memento Mori. Okay, that's one of my favorite philosophies is Stoicism. Stoicism is, read some, what would be a good author? Marcus Aurelius. Okay, Marcus Aurelius. It's a great Stoic. It's a great philosophy. Helped me a lot in life, and I still use it. Leads to inner peace, to an extent, So, yeah, and look, Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher and an emperor at the same time. Holy shit, Like, that's a man. That's a fucking man. A warrior emperor that is on a battlefield, but at the same time a scholar and philosopher, right? Aren't those the leaders that we actually need? I mean, that's the type of leader that you will need, right? I forgot who said it, but I think it was Thucydides, or was it Plato? He said if you separate the scholars from the warriors, you will have your thinking be done by cowards, and you will have your fighting done by fools. That's so true. Incredible, right? So, in my opinion, every man should be a scholar, should be a warrior, and should be a philosopher, for sure. You see? Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Bring that back, man. Bring that back. So, Memento Mori, path workings that I've ever done in my magical development was the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Okay? Which is, by the way, what I'm going to publish next year. My take on the Egyptian Book of the Dead. And, man, this is going to be broken down in a very clear and concise way for the very first time. The very first time. Okay? And if you don't understand the significance of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, just let me tell you that this is the key to reality, for sure. And the key to pretty much all spiritual control that you want to have. Okay? Context, the Ankh, and when it comes to pharaonic work, those are sigils of, certain things and spirits and whatnot. I'm not going to go into details. This is a pentacle of Solomon, one of the Jupiter pentacles. Why do I have them on me? Because I want to track the energies. This is a Roman wealth talisman. Roman wealth talisman. Used by Roman emperors. They used to wear that. Okay. This is Lakshmi, another entity that I work with a lot. This is Raphael. Raphael, an angel. All right, this is Sachiel, which is the archangel of Jupiter. This is those are Armanan runes, okay? The original runes, not what the, whatever, the other fucks used. Those are the original ones, okay? Those are actually magically applicable, okay? Most of the people that use runes are not even using the right futak, okay? So this is alchemy. Basically just symbolize, okay? That's it. Man, I'm covered with all of this stuff, okay? I get spirits, the Baron Samdeep. This is a samurai mask. Yeah, and I got other things too. Lakshmi for good fortune and prosperity. Yes. Yes. Definitely not. But the Bible has a lot of wisdom in it. For sure. For sure. Absolutely. Of course. Okay. I'm gonna wrap this up. Like I said, Secrets of Manifestation is going to be available tomorrow on my site. And fuck, how do I end this, man? How do I end this? Well, remember that the energies that you expose yourself to are going to determine what you will attract. Okay? The universe is resonating with you. What you hold in your mind, you will attract. You will draw closer to, you could say. So be aware of that. Use that. And make yourselves more powerful with that.